So I'm Waxéla Sananda, and I did say that I would go live today at 12 noon Eastern Time, which it is now. So if you are brand new to my work and my group, welcome. I'm an Ascension trainer. I'll just tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do. I teach on Ascension, and I am a galactic shaman, that means that I communicate with higher dimensional beings and all types of dimensional beings, star beings, just all different types of energies. And this has been going on since childhood, and it took me a while to finally, as an adult, decide to own that I'm a galactic shaman, and that's what I was born to do. And I think I knew, probably in my 20s, that this was my path. And yet it took me a long time to really embrace that path and own that path for myself. So I'd love to make it so that I could see comments so this could be interactive, but I'm actually not sure how to do that on here. I've never done a live in my group before. I've done a live on my page and on my personal page, but I've never done a live in the group. So maybe if I go to my phone, and then if somebody wants to leave me a message, if I can get there this way, then I'll be able to answer. So let's see if I can figure this out. Shouldn't be that hard. My own group. Here we go. Okay. Yep, at least now I can see that I am streaming. All right, so I did ask for questions, but first of all, I wanted to share a little bit about when you register for this page. I know some people get automatically accepted if you're already, I think if you're already a member. Hi, Carolyn or Caroline. I do see it. Thank you. Thank you for helping me out because I love to know that I can see the comments. So thank you. And feel free to ask questions and comment while I'm talking. But I created this group kind of to be like a more private, and I was also told that when you do a group, since people have to sign up for it, they actually see more of the content. Whereas if I have thousands of people in a page, maybe nobody sees it, or five people. So this is kind of a way to hopefully get the content to more people, make it visible to more people. But when you sign up, some people automatically get approved, but I think everyone is asked some questions. And one of them is, what is it that you would like to know about in the realm of Ascension? And so a lot of people have answered they would like to know about Ascension in general. What is Ascension? How do you ascend? What does it mean? And so I kind of want to start at the beginning and start there. So, Ascension, actually, Caroline, I should ask you, can you hear me okay? If so, just say yes so that I know my microphone is close enough because it's over here, but hopefully it works. Um, okay, so anyway, Ascension. Ascension is it's basically upgrading or raising the frequency of energy around your body. So raising your frequency while embodied. And this is how I teach it. I also call it, thank you, Caroline, I think I have a delay. I also call it Ascension, which means bringing the frequencies in, bringing a higher frequency into the body, and then expanding our capacity to hold that frequency. So when you raise your frequency within the body, you're expanding your ability to hold ascension frequencies. And this is an ongoing process. We will, sometimes it comes in like waves. You can think of like the ocean. It comes in waves and then settles down, and then we might get a big round of ascension frequencies, and then it'll settle down again. But generally, it's an ongoing process. And here's the thing: what happens as we practice ascension, as we practice holding higher and higher frequencies, when one of those waves of ascension comes, we level up, but then we have to expand our capacity to hold the higher frequencies. And what happens in the way, one of the things that people get tripped up on that is that all of our shadow stuff will come up to be cleared that has kept us from being able to hold that frequency previously. So you can think of it as, you have an opportunity to expand, to improve your energy, to expand your ability to hold higher frequencies, and that will ultimately result in a better feeling life, right? But if we don't do the shadow work to clear the things that have previously been in the way of us already being there, then we don't get to hold that frequency. We'll inevitably go back down in frequency. So it's kind of this, it can go up, it can go down, just like anything. But here's the thing. When we get really good at releasing, at looking at the shadow stuff that comes up and letting it go, that actually improves our ability to hold higher frequencies. And so this is really the foundation of my teaching. And it's also the reason why on this round of it's Alchemy of Ascension 3, the summit that many people have come into the group from, the tagline is harmonizing light and shadow to embody your mystical power and purpose. So, in harmonizing the light and shadow, that's allowing the shadow work to clear from you, allowing yourself to witness those things that come up when we ascend our frequency, when we practice holding higher frequencies and tuning in and tapping into those frequencies. That's what allows us to, doing the shadow work and harmonizing that is what allows us to stay at those higher frequencies and hold those higher frequencies for longer and longer periods of time until that is just the frequency that we're at now. That is just the frequency that we can naturally hold. It doesn't come naturally at first. So it's a practice. Ascension is a practice, and it's an ongoing practice for as long as you're on the planet. And I believe beyond that time as well. It's ongoing. And so we get to be really brave and courageous and diligent and tenacious in practicing harmonizing our shadow work, because if we ignore the shadow, if we stuff it down, if we pretend it's not there, if we hide it under the rug, it's not only are we not going to be able to hold a higher frequency, it's going to come back. It's going to come back over and over in different ways with different faces, and it will seem as if these things are unrelated. But whenever you have the experience of the same issue coming and being confronted with, let's say if it's in relationships, for instance, if you continuously attract relationships with similar issues, maybe somebody's verbally abusive or unloyal or in whatever way doesn't honor you, that's because you're not honoring yourself, and they're bringing that to you so that you can see it and work through that on your own. And then when you do that work, when you work through your own issues, then you attract the people that reflect back to you where you are. Life is always giving you opportunities to reflect upon where you are. If you don't like where you are in your life, that's an indication that you have some work to do to improve things from the inside out, because all of life is outpictured what's going on within us. Whatever's happening within is coming to us seemingly from the outside. And hello, Bob, I see you there too. Thank you for saying hi. So I hope this makes sense. And, this is my life's work. But what's amazing about this work is it takes away the need or desire to blame anyone else for anything that's going on in my life. Because I know that whatever's going on and whatever I'm getting upset by, or, whatever I'm happy about, I am projecting that from the inside out even if I'm not aware of it, whatever's coming to my attention, it's something that I have projected out that's come to my attention for me to notice. And so that brings me to what we focus on and how important it is to focus on what's working, what's going right, and put our time, energy, and attention on what we do want, not what we don't want. And here's where it gets a little tricky because sometimes spiritual people will then bypass doing the shadow work. I do not mean ignore your shadow work. Like I said before, you've got to do that work. Whatever comes up, confront it, look at it, pay attention to it, come to terms with it, understand and realize, oh, this is why, this is coming from something inside me, and then make the choice to transform that inner part. That we all have trauma. Being human, we're all human. We all have had experiences in our life that create trauma, and some of us are very sensitive, so some of us have a lot of trauma to work through. And the more courageous and tenacious we are about doing that work, the more opportunities we have to upgrade our lives, upgrade ourselves and our experience. So once we have done that work, we look at that trauma, we confront it, we work through it, then we empty out. It's like making space. We're creating space in our container energetically, mentally, physically, emotionally to have a higher frequency experience, thought, feeling, and emotion, and then outpicture that into our world. And there are many, many, many techniques for this. I am just going to do a shameless self-promotion here because I just got my books published. I wrote a book called The Love You Crave, A Course in Ascension, Alchemy, and Connection to the Divine. Look at the beautiful cover. The cover was done by Daniel Holman. He's a visionary artist, and he creates beautiful artwork. Anyway, it just came out, and I give the, even though I call it the Love You Crave, it's about ascension. It's about how each of us goes on our own ascension journey, and I give the foundational steps of ascension training, which is my signature course, in this book, so that anybody, you don't have to take my course. You can go through the book, do the steps, and learn these things on your own. And then if you're like, oh wow, I really want to do this and I want help and support and coaching and camaraderie and community, then you can take the course if you want that. But there are lots of ways to do it. And also I have the book as an ebook on Amazon as well if you don't need the paper book. Some people only read paper books, so either way, it was really interesting. I waited a year to get it printed in paper, and I had a lot of people asking for it. So I just got back from a mastermind with Primal Hacker, and it was so much fun, and I got back and the books were here waiting for me when I arrived home. So I'm excited to have them in hand and physical now and to share the information with more people, which is what it's all about. So earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday, I put on a post inviting people to come and watch this. And I also said I would open up for questions. And a couple of people wrote and asked me questions on that post. So I'll address those questions first, and then I'll open up for anybody else who's watching. So if you have a question and you want to put it in the comments, I will read your comments and address that in a few minutes. And I think I need to scroll down so I can see all of the comments. Yeah. Okay, so the first question was from Michael. And Michael was asking me, what does my future hold? And while I used to do psychic readings for people many years ago, and I was pretty good at it, I don't do psychic readings. So I'm not going to be like your fortune teller and read your future. While I might be able to tune into your energy, and with my clients, certainly I do tune in with them and help them. I don't do just flat out psychic readings, but I can answer that for everybody. Your future holds what you're focusing on right now. So if you're focused on everything that's wrong in the world, or whatever it is that's upsetting you in your life, what's not working, if you're focused on the negativity, then your future will hold more of that frequency. The frequency that you're focused on right now is the frequency that you will get more of in your future. And when I say frequency, I'm using that kind of as to encompass everything from thoughts, feelings, emotions, and experiences. So when you're consciously creating your life, and this is another aspect of what I teach, conscious life creation, self-empowerment, and mastery. When you're consciously creating your life, you are taking control of your intention and what you're manifesting in your life with your imagination, your envisioning, your being creative and creating your life intentionally throughout your day, in your meditations. And then also when you catch yourself feeling negatively or thinking negative thoughts or cursing someone or thinking negatively or gossiping or just in general projecting negativity toward another, that's what you're going to get back in the future. So if that's what you're up to in your day, then that is also what you're going to experience in the future. And some people might think of that as karma, but it really is conscious life creation. So naturally, we don't want those things. What we want is to have a life of joy and happiness and freedom and feeling good and being healthy and with healthy relationships and people that, healthy friendships, people that we feel good about being with, right? I mean, doesn't everybody really want a life like that? So the way to create that as your future is to do the actions and think the thoughts and feel the feelings and imagine creatively what you desire. And when you're confronted with something that's not working in your life, do the work to notice, oh, this is coming up for me again. It's time for me to let it go and courageously notice and let that let that go and then bring in something. I have something called recoding that I teach people in the book, where you can recode your negative realities, your negative programming to be a higher frequency experience, higher frequency thought, emotion, and you can do that with a code word. So that is for Michael. Thank you for asking that question. And if you want something more personal, that would be more of a one-on-one. I don't do readings like that for groups. But Caroline, you also asked me about, I didn't write out the whole question, but it was money. You're wondering if money for your dream life is going to come to you. And apparently you've been working on things for a while and you're just wondering, you said, should I give up the dream? And I would say, no, never give up your dreams. If your dream is something that you feel like this is something I'm here for, this is something I want to create in my life, you have the power to manifest it. The power is always with you. It's always within you. And it's a matter of knowing how to use it and take action in a way that's going to bring those desires to life, bring your dreams to life. And so I can give you some basics on how to do that. One of the ways that you can consciously create, you had said something about money for your dream that it included horses and I don't remember what all you wrote, but it sounded beautiful. So you would want to have a daily practice of imagining if it's a business, the business exactly the way you want it. Imagine the horses in detail. What do they look like? What is your relationship with them? How do they make you feel? How do you feel when you're in this business? What are you doing? Who are the people that you're around? And what are your relationships like? And bit by bit, you add in more and more details. This doesn't have to be all at once. This can be day by day by day. But instead of focusing on what's not working or what you don't have yet, focus on the emotions and the joy that you experience in the having of what you desire. So you're mentally creating and out picturing this feeling of, and this visual and this emotional experience of exactly how you desire your life to be, how you desire this business to be. And then you're, I like to call it basking. You're basking in the experience, in the emotions, and the good feelings of having it. And so you could do this while you're sitting up in meditation or while you're lying down at night. I do this before I go to sleep at night and first thing when I wake up in the morning. There are certain things that I picture every day, and then I'll add to it day by day. I'll expand the vision. I'll expand the emotional feeling. I'll add a detail here and there. I'll add some color and add some characters in my play, and then I bask in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And this is not new to me. This has been people have been practicing this for probably for as long as humans have been able to think. But so the more detail you put into it and the more enjoyment you get out of your vision, the more you experience it as if it is real for you. And the more real it feels, the closer it gets. So that's the first step. The first step is imagining it, feeling it, enjoying the experience of what it will be like or what it is like when it's manifest. And then from there, the next piece is you want to do the action. So do the things that are necessary for you to do in order to start to have those desires come true, come to fruition. So it might mean in some cases taking a leap of faith, and it might mean getting a loan. It might mean calling someone and asking them for support or help in some way. It might mean going out of your comfort zone in a number of different ways, but you start to pull the pieces in and opportunities will start to show up. So as these opportunities begin to show up, you pull them toward you. You take the action. This is the part where a lot of people kind of get tripped up because they think, oh, the universe, when I imagine it, the universe will just put it in my lap and it'll be there. I don't have to go anywhere or do anything. That part's not true. You actually do need to take the steps that are in front of you to take in order to get to the next step. It's a step by step by step process. And it needs, you need to have trust, you need to have faith, you need to have tenacity, and you need to take action. And then every step you take gets you a step closer. And sometimes it really is about doing something that's really uncomfortable. Other times it's about waiting, taking a step back and knowing, like waiting till you feel in your heart, yes, this is the right time, or feel in your gut. We all have different ways of sensing and feeling what's right at the right time. And then sooner or later, if you're tenacious, if you continue to practice, a person will show up, or an opportunity, or you'll get a phone call, or suddenly on your computer screen something will pop up and it'll be like, oh wow, here it is, an opportunity. Then take that opportunity. Don't let that opportunity go without action. And the quicker you act on those cues and prompts from the universe, the more you're demonstrating your willingness to be an active participant in the creation of the reality that you desire. And so they start to come more and be bigger and more aligned. And it's really fun. It's like a great big game. And so I would challenge anybody that's interested in this to just start small, start taking kind of baby steps, and step by step, notice what's coming toward you. Create the vision of what you desire. Step into it. Take action and keep notes. It's really helpful to have a journal too on what you're experiencing. Your dreams might start to include cues and downloads. You might start to receive ideas and thoughts from this imagining and from this conscious life creation practice. So that is how you manifest what it is that you desire, and you're really taking responsibility for creating the life that you want. And I see, Carolyn, you have written something here, so it's tiny on my screen, so I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can read it. Everything you say, I have envisioned. My vision is very clear, garden and all. I've felt it, smelled it, done this work for 15 years. I find the farms, no problem, exactly what I want. It's the money to buy it that has not shown up. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. So, the money to buy the farm, maybe it's a matter of, maybe it's not for you to buy. Maybe you rent the farm, or maybe you partner with someone that already has land, or maybe you make an agreement to trade. I mean, there are lots of different things that could happen, right? So I don't know if you have your eye on a very specific property or if it's just in general, but if you have been focused on one specific place, maybe it's time to open your vision. Maybe there's another place that's perfect for you that you haven't seen, because here's what happens when we get overly focused on the way that something will manifest, we get these blinders. So it's like we don't actually see what's in our peripheral vision if we're laser focused on what's right in front of us and what we think we're supposed to get or supposed to have. So the practice then is to open up to all possibilities and look around and be aware and be creative in, oh, well, you know what, so and so has a farm and they might have the perfect place for this, or so and so might want a partner, or like start to just open to creative thought, and don't try and fill it in all yourself. You might think it's going to be one way, but it might actually manifest a different way. And maybe the universe has been attempting to give you that land for some time, but you haven't been able to see it if you've been too focused on something. I'm not saying that's what's happening for you, but it's always a possibility. You want to be open, and if it's not working in one area, there must be a reason why. Maybe there's a block there, maybe it's in a different area. But if you're consistently seeing it as, okay, it's the money, I would also recommend getting into your own experience of money. What are your thoughts around money? Do you have some blocks around receiving money? Do you have specifically a block around receiving the money for this particular farm? And how can you open to releasing thoughts from the body? And that's also something that I have in the book. If you get the book and read through, I have a meditation on releasing thoughts from the body, where you do a body scan, you find your blocks, and then find out where the body's actually holding on to that block, and let it go and release and open up to something new. And then always just kind of have your antenna out and open, so you're ready to receive, you're ready to allow, you're ready to sort of catch the windfall that the universe is showering on you. Because I guarantee the universe, God, the divine, whatever you want to call it, wants you to have your dream come true. The universe wants you, or God wants you to have your farm and wants you to have everything that you desire. You can trust that, and you can even use that as a mantra, whatever you use. The divine wants me to be happy. The divine wants me to have everything that I desire. And so when you start to think of the world in this way, you start to notice and pay attention to the cues and the clues, and then take action in the direction of being open. So I would say shake that up, open up. Maybe the farm's sitting there waiting for you, but it's coming in a different way. Maybe it's not you buying the farm. Maybe someone's gifting you the land. Maybe someone's sharing the land. Maybe you're renting the land, or some version of that, or maybe it's in a slightly different place than what you expected. So just to be open, put up your antenna, put it out there, and allow it to come to you in whatever way it comes, and not be attached to how. Okay, see some more comments coming in here. Thanks, Bob. I love how you articulate. Great books on trances people live, and waking up from trance, or waking from trance. Yeah, waking ourselves up and realizing we're creating it all the time. This is a big game that we came here to play, and we get in our own way, but that's our opportunity to get out of our own way. So there are a lot of people with great books and workshops and classes, and I'm going to be diving into this more and more too. Caroline, big love, Waxéla. I agree, and will stay open. The divine wants me to be happy and have everything I desire. I'm open. breathing and ready to receive. Love, love, love. Yes, and that's the attitude, that's the opening. There's always another layer of that and another level of that too. And oftentimes, if I'm working on something that I think should be relatively easy for me to have and create in my life, and I'm not receiving it, it's an opportunity for me to sort of scan and see, okay, where am I holding that myself apart from that? Maybe in some part, I don't believe that I'm worthy. Or I don't believe that I should have it. Maybe I don't believe that, maybe I believe I already have enough. And so somebody else should have it, not me. And then again, that's just a limiting belief that I'm rehearsing, right? So we get to check in and scan ourselves and keep opening to receive. So, okay, I see more comments. T. Harv Ecker's Millionaire Mind Intensive. Yes, I did that many, many years ago. That was amazing and supportive. Okay, any other questions before I close? This was kind of just a touch in. I wanted to say hi, do my first live in here, and let everybody know. I think I'll be doing another live on Monday, and it will always probably be at 12 noon Eastern whenever I can, because I like to sort of stick with one particular, with a date and a time so that it's easy for people. Um, yeah, I can do 12 noon on Monday. So that's the next. It'll be Monday the 15th. That's the next time I will be live in here. And if you guys want to put questions in, send me your questions ahead of time, or just show up live. I'll answer them, and then I will post the video so you can listen and watch. And I love the community that is forming, and I love interacting with you. I don't want to just be like behind the scenes. I want to be interactive, and I want everyone to know that we are a community. There are so many people working on their ascension, so many people opening up to the realm of the higher dimensional beings and working on upgrading their lives and consciously creating. We get to do it together, and that's so much fun. So Caroline, I still can't get into you. You can't get into my summit. I'm sorry. I see you left your email. I will put you in. Yeah, if you ever have trouble, I don't know why sometimes people are not able to register, and it might be, there are a number of reasons why that could happen, but I will manually add you today because I don't want you to be left out of that. You're welcome. Thank you, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and end there. I appreciate you so much. Feel free to interact, chat with me, ask me questions in the group. Let me know your thoughts. What do you want to know about? What would be most helpful to you? Because I am here to serve you and help you on your ascension journey. All right, that is it. I'm going to close there for today, but I want you all to know I appreciate you so much. I love you, and namaste.